Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Bad news for the Russian air defense and possibly good news for the Ukrainian missile abilities or I don't know, rocket abilities to strike within Russia again. And of course if Ukraine takes responsibility or at least claims responsibility for the new attack on Belgorod Oblast, where they hit a little plant that supposedly was building, manufacturing parts for the Kerch Bridge and other things like this. Now the problem is, the question is first, did the Ukrainians do it or did the Russians do it? I say, well, are you crazy, Emil? Why would the Russians do it? Well, I do something so I can punch you in the face, for instance. And I say that you did it to me, and then I got a little reason, and I'm going to do it to you. So that's one little reason that can be used. The problem is this seems to be an important plant and an oil depot. So I have here three articles coming. Actually, if you want to put it this way, is one article coming from three sources, which is three sources come from one source, which is the Ukrainian government. So one is from from the New Voice of Ukraine. All right, the other one is from the Kiev Independent, and the other one is from Ukrainska Pravda. They're all coming to tell us that a plant on fire in Russia, Belgorod Oblast, and they even use the same little picture, not this ones, but they don't use the pictures are cheap. And this is the same picture right here. So let's start with the New Voice of Ukraine, which they all say the same a little bit here and there, different semantics. So this occurred on February 4th, 2023, and it says, oil depot on fire after explosions in Russia, Belgorod Oblast, factory that produces structures for Crimean bridge demand. Okay, you can build that bridge one time and then maintenance, and then it's all done, I guess. The explosions in the village of Borisovka, about 40 kilometers west of the city of Belgorod, reportedly caused a fire at an oil depot, with several oil tanks going up in flames. So let's see where this place is. Let's start with this. Pa-bam. Well, this is Ukraine right here. This is the Black Sea. So this is the border between Russia, where here, and here Ukraine. And this is the little town of Bethlehem right here. And this is Belgorod right here. And this is the border. So these guys, the Ukrainians, are capable of hitting inside this area with impunity. So another map here would show Belgorod right here, and this is Ukraine, so it will be better to identify it. So let's go back here, so make it a little bit. So north of Kharkiv, that's where the whole thing is. Ukraine over there on the world map, Europe right here, Russia over there, Turkey over here, Black Sea. So here we have Belgorod, and the little villages between Kharkiv and Belgorod, in between right here. Or we can also use this little thing right here. It's Belgorod, Borisovka in between here, and then here is the map between the border between Ukraine and the Russian Federation. All right, now we got this cleared, and move on to this one. Local authorities also reported that a factory in the village that makes metal constructions also caught fire. Caught fire just like that. What a coincidence. I like how these guys are putting it. Just caught fire. Okay. The factory, which is about 2 kilometers from the oil depot, makes constructions that have been used in the Kerch Bridge in Ukraine's Russian-occupied Crimea, media reported. Video from the scene of the blaze at the oil depot showed large sheets of flame and dense plumes of smoke rising above the oil tanks. Several fire engines could also be seen. There was no information about the possible causes of the explosions and fires at either the oil depot or the factory. Well, we can only guess, can't we? Or can we? Kiev Independent Regional Government says factory in Russia, Belgorod region on fire. The same information here, no casualties were reported. Russian state-owned media reported on February 1st that Russian dictator Vladimir Putin has asked the defense ministry to focus on preventing the shelling of Belgorod Oblast, which is located on the border with Ukraine. Russia has been shelling Ukraine's northeastern regions bordering Russia, and Russia regions along the border have also been shelled. Ukraine has not commented on whether it was responsible for the attacks. Okay. Explosions are regularly reported in Russia's Belgorod Oblast, the latest taking place on January 17. So now move to the next one, which is Ukrainska Pravda, plant on fire in Russia's Belgorod Oblast. Again, a fire broke out. Okay, yeah, thank you. And I'm quoting Vyacheslav Gladkov, governor of Belgorod Oblast. Projectiles hit the premises of an industrial plant, according to preliminary information. There have been no casualties reported. People managed to get to a safe distance. So this is the only guy who says that projectiles hit the premises of an industrial plant. So that's what I will take out of this. Now, the Ukrainians were able to hit inside Russia, and this is just at the border. Remember those attacks using the 1917, Jesus Christ, a long time ago, 1970s Soviet-made so-called drones, which are some rockets, are drones with jet engines that were fired from Ukraine and hit inside Russia about 700 and some kilometers. So it's about almost 600 miles inside. So this little BS here at 20 kilometers of the border, or whatever that was, 5 kilometers, that's easy target. I'm still surprised, negatively surprised, that the Russians are incapable of doing anything about it. But you can't protect everything. I'm not trying to find any justification for that, because I think it's unacceptable that the Ukrainians, unacceptable for the Russians, unacceptable Russian defense systems, the military, that they are incapable of protecting that area when they've been hit from the same direction on multiple occasions by the Ukrainians, by helicopters, by little missiles and so on in the past. So then, can't you find a way to block all those? You don't have missile systems, those S-400s, or for them maybe is not. And I'm making this claim that I'm just trying to ask a question. I'm not saying that the Russians don't want to defend that. That's stupid. It's just maybe they don't consider that target as being as important for the military operation in order to really invest in it with high value, let's say, defense systems. That could be another one. On the other hand, if you just use some mortars, and you send a few mortars, well, you're gonna use S-400s to hit those little mortars. But on the other hand, I don't think it was mortars, because the projectiles blew up those plants and were very clear. It was not like let's try to see where do we hit it. So that means they had coordinates. They either had coordinates, or they had something that they guide, something that they could, even like a drone, seeing where it's going. The other one would be coordinates, pack, boom, zoom, the same, guided, and hits over there. A mortar is just zoom, or you just aim at it, a rocket, try to get, the altitude and whatever you else need to do, and you just try a few times. It doesn't mean you're going to hit in the area, you're going to hit in the vicinity, but you have to be able to figure out if that hit the target. So you need to have someone who's going to tell you, yeah, a little bit left, no, you didn't hit anything. So it has to be in visual, I guess. If it's not, you got to have at least the information where the target is. So, and I'm pretty much sure the Ukrainians have that. We'll see how the Russians react. I don't think they're going to do anything special for that, as they didn't do anything special for previous attacks. So they're going to just probably talk a little bit, so showing concern, and then move on. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.